Thought you might enjoy seeing what it looks like on a longship going down the Danube. We're trying to stay in the center of the river because it's so shallow, and we're encountering rocks that we can actually see that are giving us the effects as if we're going river rafting over some rapids because the water is that low. There's talk that we're going to have to transfer to an identical ship in Nuremberg. Look how low the water has receded from the shoreline. This is abnormally unusual because of the low rainfall in the Black Forest and surrounding area. And of course, we have a nice look back from where we've come. We're passing through one of the 69 locks that we have on this trip. We just went through the locks and we rose about 300 feet and we are free to go forward. Such an amazing captain and first mate. They go through so much maneuvering to make sure that we're safe and we're docked easily, comfortably, and once we get close to the port, all the activity that goes into tying and securing us so that we're stable and we're able to use the on-land ramps, it's just mesmerizing. I am happy to say that by this time we've been able to make a few friends.
Donna, Dalton, new best friend, Barbie and Al.
Aaron, Wagner, new best friend, Barbie and Al.
Needless to say, we had a lot of fun, and we were even able to get Paul to quote one of his Hungarian mother's favorite quotes to him.
Oh, a piskaka azorada. That means a little shit on your nose.
Unbeknownst to them, we were able to capture their little conversation, and then Al and Paul trying to emulate Al's soap patch with jelly. Al said I could always find a job in Germany. Just another beautiful and happy woman in Germany. Okay, back to the friends we made. We're not biased. They're from everywhere. Even Colorado, as in Carol and John. This was the cutest little couple we met from Las Vegas. This was a dentist and his wife from Albuquerque, New Mexico. This family wanted nothing to do with us. They were too busy. These people were from Canada. Judy and John, we ate with them every evening. We loved them. Maggie, I met on the first night. Carol, the second morning. Our friends from Hawaii. And I carried little cheat sheets with me for helping us out in German. Luckily, their English was much better than my German. This is the house with the largest nose on it in the world. Franconian and Bavarian people are known for loving their animals. They take them with them everywhere. These three little dogs had a spat and were now taking a rest. The next dog absolutely captured my heart. He would not leave the front of the building because he knew his owner was in there. The next dog is just happy to be along for the ride or the walk. Our little grand dog at home had to step over this spoiled little runt to get into the storefront. He was enjoying the sun. Way to the bishop's residence, we ran into these three little ladies with broken English. We had a great conversation. Here we are at the bishop's residence inn. This palace was eventually finished for Duchess Empress Maria Theresa. Opulent rooms everywhere, but it was turned over to the bishops for their imperial residence. Here's a picture during World War II, the way a bomb dropped through it but failed to explode, and then a picture of how it is now. We're discovering the Habsburg dynasty now that ruled in Austria and most of Europe for about 650 years. The Schönbrunn Palace was finished in the 18th century for Empress Maria Theresa. She used it as a summer home and it quickly became their favorite home. It was also used as a hunting retreat because there was so much forested land around it. Today the Schönbrunn Palace is mostly used for the state. They bring dignitaries in and they have state dinners and dances and official affairs that happen there. But for the most part, it is a tourist attraction that brings people in from every part of the world. The statuary, the gardens, the building itself, the horse stables. The Vienna Boys Choir lived there. There was a college there. The last of the Habsburg dynasty to die, who was not even a ruler, was Otto von Habsburg. At the age of 98 years old, he was the Austro-Hungarian representative, and as usual, his heart was separated from his body, put into the silver urn, and buried in a different location than where his body was buried with the rest of his ancestors. He was given the full pomp and circumstance as any emperor in the past had received before him. We were only able to visit the plaza in certain rooms of the Schönbrunn Palace itself. So while we were in the plaza, we were looking around at all the shops and the stores and bazaar type things that were going on, and we saw beautiful coffee shops. So we went ahead and indulged in one. There were ladies sitting next to us who had come in from the countryside and had lunch and spoke with us, and we had a lovely visit there too. We were bussed in, and our tour guide was bringing us to the front of the palace, and this is the entrance that we saw once we were there. Across the street was the State Opera House. We did not get to go in there because it was closed. There was no Vienna Boys Choir and no operas going on. But nonetheless, we enjoyed Schönbrunn Palace because of the areas, the grounds, the insides. This is the porcelain room, and then the wood that was carved and painted to look like enamel was out of this world, unbelievable. There were the carriages, the stairs, the stables, all the statuary around the top of the palace was remarkable. There was the outside cafe Al and I decided to go eat our lunch/dinner in. We had Wiener Schnitzel, Spätzle, and our beloved Apfelstrudel. Everything came to us in beautiful white porcelain, and it was an event I don't think we'll ever forget. We got on our bus and we started heading back to our boat. I did snap some pictures of the beautiful countryside, and there's our boat. And then we began our voyage through the Washoe Valley and on our way to the Milk Abbey. That was also another palace of the Habsburgs, but then they turned it over to the monks, and they still came to visit with their entourage of around 300 people, and they were very well taken care of.
Set of creatures on there. We believe them to be hares, although each cruise I get a different...
Castles can be seen, one right on the riverbank and the other just on the slopes above, and from of Bavaria. But this German intrusion into Austrian soil didn't please the Dukes of Austria, who finally ousted the Bavarians in 1504.
We are journeying through the mountains and the steep cliffs of the Danube. As you can see, the unique land and history are inextricably combined, and what is certain is the beauty of the countryside, the strange peace. There's just nothing like the mist that makes the formidable land tremendously appealing for a revisit. We are now heading for the beautiful and interesting city of Passau.